We had a guest on our podcast, Anwar, a couple weeks ago would have been, and he spoke about an experience that he had when he went to Turkey. Was it Turkey?
Yeah, Turkey.
And he went to Turkey, and it was that inflection point for him to be so grateful for the privilege of being able to go over there, see the poverty that was there, come back and work 10 times harder because he understood how privileged he was. And that's something that his dad taught him as well. Is that something that your dad taught you from a very young age, or was there an inflection point that you went?
There's no Turkey, what?
Turkey, no, but there was definitely stuff that my dad would teach me, but there's also stuff that I saw. I saw my family struggle.
Yeah.
Right. I came from a family, like I'm sure the same with you two, of hard workers. Right. We didn't have the most money. Right. We worked very hard. And I had a mum that would stress about end of month, affording everything all the time. Right. Just to take us to Queensland, they had to go and put it on their credit card. And then my mum would tell me they're struggling to pay it off because they just want to take us to Queensland. And I was a teenager. I said, you didn't have to take us. We were happy just to go down the coast.
Yeah.
Like we're happy to hang out together.
2-3 hour drive.
But my mum and dad wanted to do that for us because they felt the pressure of everybody else doing it in my family. So they felt bad, right? But when I started to build my own business, I looked at my mum. My dad and I had a fight actually. He said, you want me to give you my money to help you start your business? I said, Dad, I need it. Either that or I'll go take out a business loan. He goes, I'll give you the money. He goes, but I don't think you're mature enough to have your own business yet. I looked at him. I looked at my mum. I looked at him again. And I said, I'm going to prove you wrong. I go, thank you. It's for what? I said, you just motivated me to prove you wrong.
That gave me goosebumps, bro.
He came into my gym 6 months later. He stood in the middle of my gym and started crying. And he goes, he gave me a hug. He goes, I would never have the balls to do what you did. And I looked at him and I bawled my eyes out like a 5-year-old. And I said, if it wasn't for you, and me and my dad are very open like this. We'll The smallest conversation becomes a D&M with my dad and I. I go, if it wasn't for you saying what you said to me, although you meant it, it hit me and my ego because you forced me to have to grow up.
Yeah.
Right? The person that you idolize tells you you're not mature enough. What are you going to do?
You're going to prove him
You're going to prove him that you are, right? And so he did that for me without even realizing he did that for me. Mm-hmm. And then I looked at my mom. I said, I'm paying your mortgage off. I go, one day it's going to happen. I'm going to pay your mortgage off. And she's like, no, that's not, we should be doing that for you. I said, no, I'm going to pay your mortgage off. And I don't know when it's going to happen, but I'm going to fucking do it. I'm going to pay your mortgage off. and I still hold that promise to today.
Of course.
So that one day it's going to happen, I'm going to pay your mortgage off. Because when you come from a family that struggles and gives and gives and gives and gives, when they have nothing and they still give, for me, if somebody gives me 5 cents, I will not sleep until I give that 5 cents back to them.
Yeah.
Right? My mum and dad are
because of
everything.
your roots.
Yeah, but I owe my mum and dad everything.
Yeah.
Right? People go to me, you're doing so good, you're doing so good. I say, I'm blessed. They go, no, you worked hard for it. I'm a very religious person. And I say, look, yes, I worked hard for it, but I worked hard. I'm able to work hard for it because of what I'm blessed with to be able to do that. I'm blessed with support. I'm blessed with my family. I'm blessed with an amazing wife. I'm blessed with the best in-laws. Right? I'm blessed with a brother who is my best friend. Not like my best friend, he is my best friend.
Yeah.
Right? I'm blessed with, my sister-in-law who my brother married, who has become like another sister to me, right? There's people around me and my team, my clients, like the list goes on. But the people that are around me are one of the biggest reasons why I get up and I go, let's go. No matter what the challenge is, no matter what the struggle is, right? Because when you realize that so many people believe in you, you owe it to them at the very least to go and give it 100%. Whether you succeed or fail, that's not important.
Yeah.
You owe it to them to just give it a go. Give it a crack, right? And going back to one of your first questions about my legacy, this is the biggest reason why.
That's mad.
Because of everyone that's ever invested time, effort, money, care, love, whatever kind of support in me, I owe it to them.
Would you say that's the biggest lesson you can teach your son?
Yeah, 100%. That, and also just never give up.
Never give up.
Never give up. Because what happens then?
You never saw.
Nothing
You never
happens.
saw the other side.
You just literally, nothing happens.
Dipped your toes in a little bit. And
Even then, going back to my religious roots, it's like, even in the Bible, it's like if you've been blessed with gifts and talent, it's a sin to not utilize them to the best of your ability.
Yeah.
That for me is step one. He could have given my life and my skills, my talent to anybody else in the world. My parents, my family, my wife, to anybody else in the world. There's how many homeless kids out there or kids with abusive parents out there.
Yeah.
Right? Could have given that life to any of them, but he gave it to me. At the very least, that's my reason. At the start of it all.
so you want to use it. Yeah.
It could have been anybody else's, but he gave it to me. Let's make something good from it. Let's help other people with it. You know? That's why we do fundraisers, not to flex that we did a fundraiser and look cool for social media. Because of what I've been given, I want to give back whatever I can to somebody who's got, you know, a bit of an unfortunate case of in their life, whether it be health or whether it be poverty or whatever it might be. You know, if we can help, it's the best thing to do.
What's your thoughts on? There was a little quote that me and Brendan always heard along the way of our business journey, and it was like, "You are the 5 people that you surround yourself with."
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
So true, man.
Yeah.
So true. You know, I have one friend left from high school.
Wow.
One.
He's been my best friend since we were 8 years old, right?
Yeah.
He's one of the smartest guys I know. He's a solicitor. He runs his own business. One of the smartest guys I know. And him and I are like 2 peas in a pod, right? And that's it. Other than that, I'm hanging around with my business
family.
coach and his people who are like way up where I want to be.
Yeah.
Or I'm hanging out with my family, or I'm with my wife, I'm with my son. Like, that's it. You know, I don't surround myself. I used to surround myself with everybody. I used to like to be popular. I used to want to be liked by everybody. And then I got to a point in my life where when I was going through a hard time and I was doing things that, you know, weren't necessarily
in line with what?
in line with my beliefs and with who I put myself out there to be. And that showed me who my real friends are, right? When I started my business, I woke up literally to having no friends. I'm not joking you. I'm not exaggerating. I woke up, none of my friends wanted to speak to me anymore.
When you started your business?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was the weirdest feeling, and I still get angry about it today because it's like, why?
Yeah.
Bro? They just all stopped hanging out with me.
You would have questioned it straight away.
I did. I asked all of them, like, what was going on?
What the fuck?
And they're like, nothing. We know you're busy. I started making all these excuses. I see them now, and it's funny, without trying to sound egotistic, and I don't like when people don't succeed in their lives because everyone deserves some success in their life,
Yeah.
or to be happy at the very least. They're still in the same spot they were when I was with them 10 years ago. They're still in the same spot. They're still just little kids in a circle talking about each other behind each other's back. And I'm actually so glad that I'm away from that. And I feel like God took me out of that very quickly
The black sheep.
Yeah.
for a reason, right? And yeah, when I look at them, I'm like, okay, maybe it was a good thing they're not in my life anymore, you know? But
And
yeah.
that was just like one of your blessings.
Definitely. One of many, yeah, definitely. At the time, I was upset because it's like, you know, like you lost all your friends. They were hanging out at my house, man. Like, I got to say, they're still hanging out with my parents. That's how close we all were.
Yeah.
And then gone. Even my mum was upset. She's like, what happened? I don't know. I woke up one morning and all of a sudden, nobody wants to hang out with me anymore. I don't understand what's going on. But I realized very quickly that when you change, and I changed a lot about myself very quickly.
Yeah.
Because I actually got fired, right? And then within 2 weeks, I started my own gym. So I had to change everything about my life like that.
Yeah.
Who I was, what I said, how I held myself, everything changed.
Wait, so you got fired, and then 2 weeks later you opened up a business.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I literally just went
That's a
from one
crazy
to the
feat.
other. Yeah, that's why I'm telling you, like, with the way I started, the equipment I had, I didn't even have time to order equipment. Like, I just had to grab what I could and go with
This
it.
goes back to when I cut you off about the equipment. Now we're back to the equipment. But
Yeah, that's
it's
what I was
another
saying
big
before.
thing.
Like, it is not the equipment that makes you a good coach. It is who you are that makes you a good coach.
Yeah.
It is the impact you
people
have
will
on
come.
people's lives that have. Man, I had one client refer 45 people to me. I used to dub her my marketing manager. She just referred. 45 new clients she referred me
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
because of how much she believed in what we did. You know what I
That's
mean?
crazy.
Yeah,
to
like I'm
create
telling you,
that
now
for
when I mean
someone.
blessed, like
Yeah, that's
I
a
can't
big
explain
blessing.
to you how blessed I am. And the thing is, I truly believe you'll have people in your life for a certain period of time. That's fine. But some people go, some people come, some people stay. It's okay. Just keep doing you.
Yeah.
You will know who your
Keep
type.
doing you, your people will come.
Exactly. So you are the sum of the 5 people you hang out with the most,
Yeah.
right? Or you surround yourself with the most. If you surround yourself with people that don't aspire to do good in their lives, you're not going to move forward. If you want to move forward, they're going to be the first people that try to bring you down. And unfortunately, some of the close people that can be to us, right? It can be some people that are related to us, right? There can be some people that we think are our good friends, but really, when we start to succeed and our light starts to shine,
Yeah.
they just don't like it. And they just do whatever they can or say whatever they can to bring it down. I've had that experience many times. That's why when somebody succeeds in my gym or somebody in my life or in my circle or in my family succeeds, you best believe I'm the first one in that line giving him a high five.
100%.
Because I know what it feels like to not have that. But I also know what it feels like to have people cheer for you. It's the nicest feeling. It motivates you to go to the next level.
100%.
So when I see guys that come in, like I train a guy, he makes $40 million on his building company. I said, Tim,
Yeah.
I go, fuck, that's so good. I'm so proud of you, bro. He looked at me, it's like puzzled. Because most people look at me and go, like, throw a comment about, oh, give me some of that money. I go, nah, man. I go, that's hard work, man. I go, I'm pretty sure you should be proud of yourself.
Yeah.
He goes, this is why I like you, And this guy doesn't flaunt his money. He doesn't talk about money. He talks about it to me because he knows that there's no judgment and I don't make assumptions, right? When he said it, he was like, yeah, man. He goes, my company will turn over $40 million a year. And it was just, I was looking at him like, that's awesome, man. Like, well done. I meant it.
And that's genuine, yeah.
Yeah, and I thought to myself, and not one part of me was like, I wish I had that kind of money because I know more money means more problems.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't wish for that kind of money because I know what the problems that can come from that kind of money.